people who say that there's no God, right? You know, where's the evidence? Blah blah blah. Right? Suppose I do a card trick for you, right? And you think that's amazing. The effect of the trick is amazing. I have no idea how it's done. Okay? But I'm the magician. I do know how it's done, right? But I choose not to share the secret with you. I just show you the effect. Okay? So why can there not be a situation that the universe is created by God, who's like a magician, like the number one master magician? He doesn't want to reveal the secret of how it's done, or where it's come from, or where it's going, or the whys and wherefores. He just wants you to see the effect.
But generally, you know, our mind is very confused. So the meditation, I think, tries to make it a little bit calmer, a little bit more focused. So therefore, I think it makes you more your real self, I think.
In my case, it happened like this. That one day, suddenly I wondered, you see, who is this guy who lives within me when I am asleep? So I thought that I am sleeping. But I realized that there is somebody who is awake within me, and he takes care of my blood pressure, my sugar, my chemistry of the body, of everything. And I thought that I never knew this guy who lives within me. Who is this? And then I realized that he doesn't talk when I talk. You see, he talks, you see, when I stop talking. You see, and he talks in terms of sensations, in terms of silence, in terms of inspiration, in terms of joy, in terms of producing energy. You see, this is his language. So I began to listen to his language, you see. And then I found that I was only breathing. And he was there. I was only breathing. And at one point of time, this duality that he and me are different, you see, began to dissolve.
Suppose you are salt, made of salt, and I ask you, tell me about the nature of sea. You go to sea and sink into the sea. Will you be able to come back and tell me? If you go to the supreme truth, you cannot come back and tell me.
tiene ia mana I te rani ko awa koro no ko tama ko uru ko awa koro no ko tama ko uru ko wera e whawhati te pari hau o te moana I taua I te waka o tama te a mimiti ana te tai he tira e taua whana whano I ko kaukura te manu whakawa I te mate wai o ake au muri nei he titi e a kumi o ke te toka tipua o pau matapu
Decided he needed to go and see the Buddha, and so he set off on foot. And somewhere along his journey, he came upon a man who was sitting in the lotus position, meditating, but he had made several mistakes in that he hadn't chosen a shady spot, so he was out in the sun. He was being absolutely cooked by the sun. He was all sunburned, dehydrated, and he also had made the mistake of sitting on an anthill. So the ants were crawling all over him and eating his flesh, and he was absolutely miserable. And as the Bodhisattva went by, he said, when you see the Buddha, ask him how long it's going to take for me to become enlightened. And the Bodhisattva promised to do that and continued on his way. And a few days later, he came across a second man who was dancing and laughing and singing. It's just in a state of exhilaration, just bopping around. And as the Bodhisattva went by, this man said, hey, when you see the Buddha, ask him how long it'll be before I'm enlightened. And the Bodhisattva promised. So he went on, had his audience with the Buddha, and a few weeks later came back along the way. And he this time he came upon the first man first, and by now, the ants had taken most of the flesh off of his body, and he was just blistered from the sun, and he was practically dead, absolutely miserable. And the Bodhisattva said, the Buddha says it's going to take 6 more lifetimes for you to become enlightened. I just, oh no, I can't stand it. The Bodhisattva goes on, comes upon the other man who is still laughing, still dancing, still singing, having his sips of wine and nice food out of the food bowl from time to time. And as the Bodhisattva went by, he said, you see that bush over there? See that small tree, the one with all the leaves on it? The Buddha said, for every leaf on that tree, That's another lifetime you're going to have to endure before you're enlightened. And the man said, "Is that all?" And began dancing and laughing and singing even more exuberantly. And at that moment, he became enlightened.
By the singing, by the playing, by the dancing, by the praying, you make a happiness.
That is, I got lost into books. I got lost into listening to others. I got lost into knowledge without taking the simple path of closing the eyes and trying to listen to him. And when only silence remains, because I have to listen to him. I have to listen to the silence.
That deep surrender, that's cool.
Madina, Juliana, Muhammad Rasulullah, sallallahu alaihi.